I want you to eat a nutritarian diet. That's a diet that strives for nutritional excellence. A person who recognizes their future health is directly linked to the micronutrient quality of their food choices is a nutritarian. And my goal is to have you enjoy life to the fullest as a practicing nutritarian. I insist it'll make your life more enjoyable, not just disease resistant. Now keep in mind, a vegetarian or vegan could also be a nutritarian if the diet is designed healthfully. And a person who eats some animal products could also be a nutritarian if their diet is designed healthfully. A nutritarian learns about the most powerful healing foods and consumes them regularly. The second word I want you to learn is G-BOMBS. G-BOMBS, G-B-O-M-B-S. It's an acronym that helps you remember the superfoods you need to eat regularly to drive the immunity solution. Greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. These are the foods richest in anti-cancer phytochemicals that we don't get enough of in the SAD, the Standard American Diet. Foods that contain nutrients essential to the immunity solution. So let's talk about green vegetables first. Green vegetables are foundational foods that should be eaten in large amounts. The consumption of raw greens has been proven to reduce cancer rates in more than 200 separate scientific studies. In each of our cells is a DNA sequence called the antioxidant response element. It's like the protective force field around the ship in Star Trek. Your cells have this anti-cancer force field, and it's fueled by green vegetables. And the greens that have the most powerful fuel for the cell's protective function are cruciferous vegetables. Examples of cruciferous vegetables are bok choy, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, collards, and kale. For example, in a recent medical study, men who ate 28 servings of vegetables a week decreased their incidence of prostate cancer by 33%. However, if they ate just 3 servings of cruciferous vegetables a week, they decreased the occurrence of prostate cancer by 41%. That's 3 servings of cruciferous more powerful than 28 servings of regular vegetables. The more cruciferous vegetables consumed, the lower the rate of cancer. This is particularly true of breast cancer. A recent study showed that the daily intake of cruciferous vegetables decreased breast cancer deaths by 62% compared to women who did not eat cruciferous vegetables. And this radical decrease in deaths from breast cancer is even observed in women who already have a diagnosis of breast cancer. Amazing, isn't it? Don't you think every person should learn about this and know this? A group of powerful compounds from cruciferous vegetables that offers this protection is called isothiocyanates, or ITCs. There are over 120 different types of ITCs, and they have different effects on the cell to remove carcinogens and repair defects that could lead to cancer. What is fascinating is that these ITCs are not in the vegetable yet before you eat it. But as you chew it, the cell wall of the vegetable releases an enzyme called myrosinase that forms the ITCs in your mouth before you even swallow. If you chop or blend the veggies well, it will have the same effect to form these compounds. So the better these vegetables are chewed, the better they're chopped or blended, more beneficial ITCs are released into the body. The next superfood I want you to eat is beans. Scientists discovered a new potent anti-cancer compound in this fun-to-eat food. And the name of this compound is so long, actually 26 letters long, and it's so hard to pronounce, so it must be important. It's inositol pentachous phosphate. That's IP5. This compound was found to inhibit a key enzyme involved in tumor growth. That's right. When you eat beans regularly, they prevent tumors from forming in the body. Plus, they're rich in anti-cancer polyphenols. Accordingly, a recent study showed that men who ate beans or legumes regularly had a 40% lower risk of prostate cancer, and numerous studies show beans dramatically cut colon cancer risk too. A 6-year study tracking over 32,000 individuals found that those who ate beans, peas, or lentils only twice a week decreased their risk of colon cancer by 50%. Wow! If they cut their chance of colon cancer in half by eating beans twice a week, imagine the benefits of eating beans daily. You may not have any friends left, but at least you won't get cancer. Seriously, though, if you do eat beans on a regular basis, your body builds up the bacteria needed to digest them, and you don't get the indigestion and gas. The other fascinating thing about beans is that they're very high in fiber and resistant starch. Resistant starch is resistant to being digested, and that means that lots of the carbohydrate calories in beans do not get absorbed by the body. They just pass through us, making beans a very weight loss favorable food. That's right, about half the carb calories in beans do not get absorbed. So beans make you feel full, they stabilize your blood sugar, they protect you against cancer, and they help you lose weight. Onions are next. Who would have imagined that onions could be so protective against cancer? A multi-country European study tracked the consumption of food and cancer and found the one most protective variable for prostate cancer was onions. And the strongest causative factor was animal product consumption, specifically meat and dairy. Now, if we look at all the studies on prostate cancer, we find that tomatoes get all the publicity because there are about 100 studies showing a protective effect of tomatoes on prostate cancer. Now, even though there may not be as many studies done on onions and cancer, but if you look at the strength of the effect in those studies, we find that onions have even a stronger, more protective effect than tomatoes do. Pooling numerous studies from 37 different countries on onions and cancer, we find between 50 and 88% reduction in the incidence of various cancers. And similar to green vegetables, to green cruciferous vegetables, when you cut the onion, it causes a chemical reaction to occur. And the same reaction that creates the acid that makes your eyes burn is a reaction that forms these organosulfide compounds with their powerful anti-cancer effects. So the point to remember here is that the enzyme is heat sensitive. So to increase the cancer fighting power of onions in your diet, you want to eat some raw onion and chew them very well. If you cook the onion and then cut it up or blended it, then it won't give off that gas that makes your eyes tear. So you won't produce those anti-cancer compounds. But if you chop it or blend it first when it's raw, you can still cook the onion after and maintain most of the benefits because the organosulfide compounds are not destroyed by cooking. You just have to make sure you chop it up really fine before you cook it so those organosulfide compounds are formed before cooking. You follow that? Yeah. All right, now guess, who is the king of the cancer-fighting all-stars? Nope, not LeBron James. It's mushrooms. Mushrooms have 3 important and unique cancer defenses. First, they contain antigen-binding lectins. That means they stick to the surfaces of abnormal cells so the body can recognize and attack those cells for removal before they become cancerous. Fascinating, isn't it? Yeah. Our immune system has the ability to fully recognize abnormal cells and remove them, but only when it becomes fully activated when you eat mushrooms. The second important cancer-fighting feature of mushrooms is that they're strong angiogenesis inhibitors. That means these compounds inhibit new blood vessel growth. See, in order for a tumor to grow, in order for cells to become cancerous and spread, they have to send out signals that create new blood vessels to grow and feed them with nutrients and oxygen. And mushrooms say, no way. They inhibit the enzymes released by abnormal cells that promote blood vessel growth, thereby restricting the oxygen and nutrients from getting to those cells. So these substances derived from mushrooms starve off tumors and cancers. And the fat on your body is also like a tumor. It secretes hormones that stimulates growth of blood vessels also. The fat can't grow without a delivery system of highways that bring it more calories, and mushrooms stop that delivery. They won't let fat grow easily on your body either. The third important protective feature of mushrooms is they contain aromatase inhibitors. These compounds prevent the body from making excess estrogen, and they protect the breast tissue from being stimulated from circulating estrogen. Now, because of this, mushrooms are powerfully protective against breast cancer. It's as if mushrooms are a necessary arm of your immune system. Look, your car needs gas and oil, and your immune system needs greens, onions, and mushrooms, or it simply is not going to function normally. So let's move on to berries. I love that berries taste great. They're certainly a great diet and weight loss food, as they're also so low in calories, they even have a low glycemic load for a diabetic. But did you know that berries can slow aging of the brain and prevent dementia? Did you know berries have powerful anti-cancer benefits? Ellagic acid and anthocyanins are prominent phytochemicals in berries that inhibit the growth of abnormal cells and cancer cells. One recent study gave strawberry concentrates to patients with esophageal cancer and found that the cancers reversed or stopped progressing. It's amazing. The anti-cancer potential here is even surprising the researchers involved in these studies, who reported to me that this is a hotbed of recent excitement. What's observed is that we can almost wipe out cancers in animals genetically prone to get their cancers when a mixture of these particular superfoods are put together and fed to these animals. So last in your G-bombs list, right, G-B-O-M-B-S, last in your list is seeds. Don't forget those seeds every day. Numerous studies on seeds and lignins derived from seeds is simply spectacular, and it's important you know about it. I'll just give you the results of two important studies. You'll get the point. A double-blinded, placebo-controlled trial with flax seeds was done where they gave women who had breast cancer a flaxseed-containing muffin each day. And of course, half the women in the study got a muffin that looked just like that, but didn't have the flax seeds. And 6 weeks later, the breast cancer tumors were biopsied and analyzed, and they found significant cancer cell death and regression of cancer proliferation, which means the growth of the cancer, in the group that had the flax. Another study on the lignins from seeds studied women who had breast cancer, and they tracked the amount of lignins consumed over a 10-year period. You see, lignins are rich in flax seeds, chia seeds, some other seeds. The women who ate the most lignins, which was less than 1 milligram a day, had a 71% decrease in breast cancer mortality over that 10-year period. Now, 1 teaspoon of flax chia seeds have about 7 milligrams of lignins, and in the study, less than 1 milligram decreased breast cancer deaths by over 70%. That's truly amazing. So here's my nutritarian prescription for you. Number 1, eat at least a half a cup of beans every day. Do you eat some beans every day? You should. I want you to. Check that off. It's important. Eat at least 3 fresh fruits a day. Do you eat at least a cup of berries and 2 other fruits a day? Are you having 3 fresh fruits a day? You got to check it off. It's one thing you have to do. It's part of the formula here. Eat at least 1 ounce of raw nuts and seeds a day. And out of that 1 ounce of raw nuts and seeds, I want I want at least a tablespoon of chia seeds or sesame seeds or flax seeds or hemp seeds. I want at least a tablespoon of those seeds to get the lignins you need. I want some of those nuts and seeds to be some walnuts if possible for the omega-3 fatty acids. Have all the seeds and nuts you want, have the types you want, but have some of the hemp, chia, flax, or some walnuts for the omega-3 fatty acids, and then have some other nuts and seeds, pistachio nuts, pecans, macadamia, whatever you want. And then I'm going to give you incredibly great recipe ideas for this, too. Have at least 1 large salad every day. 1 big salad. I want a sign on your refrigerator that says the salad is the main dish. Take out a marker, make a nice sign, and at least at one of the meal, make the salads the main dish. A big salad. Chop up the vegetables, the lettuce and the cabbage and the tomatoes and the red onion. Put a delicious nut-based dressing on it. Make a delicious tasting salad. Kiwis or strawberries or cherry tomatoes or sun-dried tomatoes in there. Make a roasted garlic dressing. One of my favorite dressings has roasted garlic, almonds, whipped up a little tomato sauce and a little fig vinegar or balsamic vinegar. Whipped up. Tastes fantastic on a salad. Okay, so have at least 1 nice salad every day, and then half a cup of beans. You can dump it right on top of the salad if you want. Have at least 1 double-sized portion, maybe at night. Maybe you're having soup and a salad with lunch, and a big serving of greens and a fruit bowl for dinner, or a small salad for dinner. But have a serving, maybe with mushrooms, of some green vegetable, like asparagus, like broccoli, cabbage, artichokes, string beans, broccoli. Have a nice serving of cooked greens every day. And don't forget, check off on your list, have some mushrooms or onions every day. Your goal is to have a half a cup of onions a day, and mushrooms, you just need a little bit. Just a small amount every day. Just have some every day on a regular basis. They're tremendously protective. But I am demonstrating how active and youthful you can be in your later years. It's a choice you can make right now. Do you want your life to be complicated by medical difficulties? Or would you rather be fit, healthy, and enjoy your life to your fullest? You can enjoy your children and grandchildren. You can pursue your own interests of choice and not let the sickness and frailty that afflicts and that ruins the life of other Americans happen to you. Your health is your greatest wealth.